my song. Let's sing it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, see. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Howdy, 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 everybody. It's me, Jessica Snyder, the Coolest Geek Alive. And welcome to... I don't care if I haven't changed the logo or anything. This is Coolest Alive. The show is Coolest Alive now. Because that's how I feel. And even like today, whenever you're listening to this, I am talking about something that isn't necessarily geek culture related. I mean, it is film geek culture related, which isn't like the exclusive domain of this show. But I like to talk about, things, within the culture. And I took my 14-year-old son to see what do you call it? One Battle After Another. And perhaps you'd say, oh, he's 14-year-old son. And yes, and the part of the reason why we walked out of this movie, not that it was like particularly graphic or anything, or like nudity kind of stuff, that but just a lot of sexual references and stuff, which he's of that age, and I like to sort of be able to be with him in his discovery of things, so I can be like the person that he talks to and stuff. So whatever, I'll let you know how my strategy works in a few years, but this has been me trying to approach these things a little bit more differently, and instead of being super Puritan, especially because my kids are definitely like, I don't know, a little bit on the shy side, except for my youngest. Pray for me with my youngest. I got a while on that one though, hopefully. One Battle After Another, the first half an hour alone, and I've now since watched a number of just different things to find out about the rest of the movie, where it went, and there's more stuff that sort of upsets me. And it doesn't upset me, I don't know. I like to think that my audience understands me, and that I don't hold a real conservative viewpoints, really. Though I don't think they're demons. And I am generally more liberal in my thinking, but I kind of do think the political establishment of the Democratic Party are demons, and it's just because I followed them for so many years, and I still am rooting for them to win in a lot of ways, but I just cannot be associated in any way, shape, or form with how they've been going about things, and this sort of weirdo ideology of this Hollywood establishment and this film industry is just on such perfect display in this movie. It's like when the conservatives would make the argument that we're going to open the door up to weirdos in the bathrooms with our children or whatever else. And then a movie like this comes along and sort of demonstrates. It's like, oh, so it's we love black, powerful black woman, right? Okay, well, I'm going to turn this powerful black woman into a fetish of these two white men who are total cucks, as they would say. Total, just oh God. It's for those of you who don't know anything about the One Battle After Another, it is... Leonardo DiCaprio is starring Benicio del Toro. I didn't even get to the Benicio del Toro parts because me and my son walked out, I think, at a half an hour into it. I'll talk detail about the stuff that we did see, because there was just so much about it that is just very... I mean, I would call it puzzling if I wasn't living in our reality. This is so puzzling. Why would they do this like this? There's so many bits, and let me try to sum it up real quick. Leonardo DiCaprio is in love with this powerful black woman who is a revolutionary in an Antifa-like force, and they're running around freeing illegal immigrants. And she's super horny and thrill seeking. She's like an adrenaline junkie, and he is in it because he loves black women. That is his early established motivation in this fucking movie. Leonardo DiCaprio's he loves black women. And I mean, like, you get that without the scene where he basically, I forget the dialogue, but he says he's a revolutionary because he loves black women. And this lady is clearly just like seeking thrills and angry, and like, these are some of the worst fucking characters to root for you have ever seen in your life. And as the movie progresses, and I didn't get this far, she ends up like robbing a bank or whatever, getting caught, and then selling out all of her friends in the organization to get like, time off of her sentence or something like that. So she is like an awful, awful person. And I haven't even gotten to some of the parts that I saw of her being an awful person, with like, cover your ears if there's a child in earshot as I briefly describe a quick scene. But like, when they're like holding guns on all the military people, and she's like the leader going through the whole facility, and she finds the head military guy in this facility, and she makes him get a hard on. I didn't understand the scene. I just there's so many things about it that were really strange. And then this guy kind of swears revenge, but he wants to do it privately because he's got the hots for her too. And then there's basically a question, which literally before I left, my son was like, I bet you the kid that's supposed to be Leonardo DiCaprio's is actually his kid. And apparently that goes on to be one of the story threads. And I told Cass, I was like, dude, you were right. They said that was a question. It was in question. She's firing a machine gun with a pregnant belly. And like, the movie ends with, again, I didn't see it, but I saw clips, and I've seen this clip in particular, and the description of all this stuff of the daughter with a machine gun, firing. It's just like, look, I was watching, I think it was Nerdrotic, and he was talking about it being well shot and well acted and all. Like, yeah, sure, yes, it is. However, foundationally, what it is and what it represents is so much skeeziness, okay? Listen. If these people are doing the right thing, show us how they're doing the right thing. These people aren't even doing this for the right reasons. You're showing us an angry, powerful black woman. Like, what good's a powerful black woman if she's angry? And apparently they killed a bunch of people in the bank robbery. It's just like, she's hypersexualized, just like super hypersexualized. Two white men, vying for this lady's attention. One powerful general who's, purposefully cucking himself. It's really like, it was gross. I'll spare you, some of the details, but, and like I said, we didn't even go that far in it, but this lady, held no virtue whatever. And she's representative of the democratic movement. You wouldn't humanize these. Like, not that I want, you know, groups like theirs, because I don't believe in any of this shit. You know, I'm a peaceful resistance. Through art, especially in America where we can speak, through argument and conversation kind of person. So I disapprove, but at the same time, if I was a creative person who was having to write about these things, I would make something positive here. The bit that I really wanted to see, but we were just like so grossed out and like, let's like, we went home and we watched Idiocracy, which is a great one, which maybe I'll do the Saturday classic on Idiocracy because it's fresh in my mind. And we love that. But this was just like so yucky. And again, okay, so right now we've got these white men brought to their knees by this thing. The one positive bit is like Leo DiCaprio is a good dad. And he's most likely raising the other kid, the other man's child. These sort of propositions for all of this stuff are just really gnarly. And like, DiCaprio's just like a coward, who's running away from, all these things. And he was there, kind of vicariously getting thrills with this powerful black woman who's a bit crazy. Like, I don't know. I mean, on some levels, I'm like, well, good. Let everybody see that they're crazy. But what's really going to happen with a movie like this, and part of the reason why I want to talk about it is, I have my suspicion is this is going to win a certain amount of Oscars. Like, I mean, it's certainly going to be nominated, and because it's like a woke Hollywood wet dream. At the same time, it's weird, right? We've got our powerful black woman, but we've also turned her into a fetish, and she's a downright yuck bad character. We've got Leo DiCaprio and Sean Penn, this military general, and we've turned him into a fetish through their fetishization of her and their interactions with her. I mean, like, it's like really kind of one of those gross, like, leading with your tongue, the public displays of affection that make other people uncomfortable. Like, every time these two guys are fucking going at it, any of it's gross. It was really, it was genuinely gross. It's so funny too, because I'm not particularly, like, I'm not offended easily, but I just found this to be like a, I'm trying to describe my feeling of, like, I don't know. I'm like heartbroken that, like, I always assumed that these freedom fighter people would have backstories that were sort of sympathetic and explained to me why they were doing what they were doing and made me sympathize with their plight. But I was a half an hour into this going, I hope all these people die. like, granted, I only just barely got to the child. I wasn't hoping the child died. But you're just sort of like, okay, like, I don't really care what happens to these people, so we can move on with our lives. Because, like, I think at a certain point in time, I said something about the movie, and then Cass kind of said something about the movie, and then I went, you want to get out of here? And he was like, at first, like, a little, like, resistant, like, like, because we're, like, kind of, like, here kind of thing. So he, like, was like, I forget what he said, but then he sat back down, and then after a few seconds he went, do you want to go? And I was like, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Let's give it one more second. And then that one more second was like just a bunch more frightening grabs. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, let's just get the hell out of here. Like the icing on the cake. And I know this happens to some people, and I have sympathy for the people who have